to the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on Monday. It's Man Talk Monday.
Woo! Hey. Man Talk Monday's back once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are in your house tonight. All up in your area, player. I am Derek, the thought engineer, here with my man, comedian John Yogi. Tell the people how you feeling, man.
Man, I am feeling good. I went to a what they call Jamaican? No. What is it?
Reggae.
I went to a reggae festival this weekend, man. So I had an awesome time, man. It's just good to see, a whole nother thing. See, because it's not really like reggae music, but I have an appreciation for it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I saw somebody too that we know. I had talked to you about the show, but I saw somebody too.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw somebody that we know too.
Nice. Well, the weekend's over. It's Monday. Hopefully, we can make your Monday a little bit better. You know how Mondays can be for you. We want to help you, all right? We want to help you make your Mondays a little better today. So let me remind everybody, this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships, but of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to join in and participate in the conversation. Men, women, boys, and girls, you are welcome to talk to us, but by all means, holler at your boys. Now, how you do this, you go into the comment section, leave your comment, leave your question. We can see this, and this is how you chat with us. This is how you talk to us. But by all means, we want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking and how you feel about what we're talking about, right? So, participate. Now, let me remind everybody, make sure you like, share, subscribe, like the podcast, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, and subscribe and share. Go to our podcast and subscribe. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Spreaker, Bullhorn, Overcast, a whole lot of different platforms. Take your pick. You can go and listen to us. Check out great episodes that we've done in the past. You can see those. And also, you can catch us on TV.
We're on TV, Mom. I done blew up.
Right? Catch us on BS3 TV channel on Roku. BS3 TV, we're part of the BS3 family, the network, and a lot of great content, a lot of great creators, and it's a great place to go and just get a lot of what got sports, we got spirituality stuff, we got, help things that help people, and just the whole nine. So
we got a lot, man. We got a lot.
Whatever you need. Go and check us out. BS3 TV. All right. Well, we won't prolong the time. We want to get into this. We're down to our segment called Man Talk About It. So that's what we want to do. We want to talk about it. What's going on? So it's finally official now. Miss Ketanji Brown Jackson has been confirmed as the first Black female Supreme Court justice.
You'd have thought they was fighting to get Black people at the front of the airport line. Dude, I have never. It's what's amazing to me. They talked about her impeccable resume. They talked about how great she was, and then was like, "Nah, I ain't voting for her." I was like,
Dude,
"What? What are we?" It was
crazy. It's crazy. She weathered the storm because there was a storm sitting in front of that confirmation committee, the senators and all this type of stuff, but she held on. She did. And
but I gotta say this one thing. One of the Senate committees asked, "Do you have a definition for a woman?" She was like, "What? A woman? No, we're not doing that. I am a judge. This is what I do. People have to argue something, and then I come on like, what are y'all doing, dude?" It was the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing, man. It's the craziest thing.
I've listened to several of those things, man, and it's just ridiculous. The type of stuff, the questions they ask, and all this. Like when they went through the whole thing with Betsy DeVos, who had no business being over the Secretary of Education, and she did not have an educational bone in her body, and it was clear.
Now,
right?
Yeah.
Here you got a woman that's highly qualified, and she gets all of this flack. What's up, Justin? Thank you for hopping on tonight, brother. He
What's
said,
good,
brothers. So yeah, it's a circus, man.
But she got in. The best thing is she got in.
She got it.
Yeah,
he did get it. Mm-hmm. Well, it appears that somebody got in but didn't want to. The saga continues with the Smith family,
dude.
So the latest out of the Smith camp. Jada is now let it all out. She says she never wanted to marry Will Smith.
I just don't understand it. I just don't understand. Is he not worth $250 million? She talking about this cat like he work at the car wash. What is please somebody tell me what's going on? What has changed? Dude, what has changed? Have he lost his job? She treating this cat like he tried to holler at her, pay for the food with a wet food stamp or something. What is going on? She is dogging this cat out, man.
And it's been what? This is the third week after the Oscars now.
She going in now.
It seems like every week there's more. I don't know if this is a media ploy. I don't know. I don't think it's a media ploy. I think now she's seeing an opportunity to finally. I think she's making an exit. That's what I think.
Well, it appears that more and more news is coming out, and the way it's just like with me. If all of a sudden you start seeing more stuff from me, it can only come from me. It can only come from me. I can only release so much more stuff about me. I think she's just trying to control the narrative so she can be ghost. All of a sudden, I just can't do this no more. I think she's setting the stage to leave him. Because she said this. I saw something else. She said, people always thought that me and Will had an open relationship. She said that's never been the truth. She said, but oh my God, I so wish we did. What are you doing?
The whole thing. Yeah, she did say that about the whole. You wish you were swinging? Rod said, I tried to tell you last week, his money means nothing. To her, he's just a guy.
Well, now see, you're gonna make me
to Rod's point, you can't get familiar to people so much that they just become common. I tell people all the time, if you was with Halle Berry, she'd just be Halle after a while.
She'll be Halle during the day. Oh, but at night. Give it to me, Halle.
Justin says, I hope he is. Did you hear about the daughter writing a letter to Tupac? How disrespectful is that?
It just won't stop. It won't stop, D.
Crazy. Now, what kind of conversation is going on in the house that the daughter, she wasn't even around when Tupac was alive, and the daughter writes Tupac a letter talking about he was still around for her mama's sake?
Well, Well, obviously, now let me say this: you cannot go out and get the bag. You cannot go out and get the bag and think you're gonna be able to maintain what's going on in the house. Can't do it. Can't do it. You're supposed to be leaving it in capable hands. Somebody need to get. We'll need a new set of hands at the house because the hands at the house ain't doing it like it's supposed to be. Because if the daughters know about Tupac, the family know about it, and also the family know about Mama sleeping with that boy that was over at the house. They know about that. That was a friend. That was her son's friend.
Yeah. Everybody know about that. Everybody know about that. Rod said, remember, gentlemen, Jay cheated on Beyonce. He did.
Wait. What they got to do with anything?
I guess it's talking about the management. Well, because he's talking about when you hit a certain level, I guess the money is not an issue. It's more about the person rather than the money.
Well, and I agree. I agree with that. I do agree. I agree it's more about the person than the money. Because if you but the narrative was, and not to give an excuse for Jay, I want to be careful. I'm not giving an excuse for Jay. Yes, it's no secret that he was cheating on Beyonce. Ain't no secret. Everybody know he was cheating on Beyonce. To my understanding, she had miscarriage. She miscarried about around that time. A lot going on. A lot going on with that. And I agree. They are there, but see again, they are people. He's right. They are people. They are people.
Yeah, so everybody hearing about the letter. Wesley said daughter wrote Tupac a letter saying she wished he was here to make her mama happy.
Because Jada had openly told Will, hey man, I'm not happy. And he said to her, go and do whatever you need to do to find happiness. She didn't know somebody was going to be pulling the back of her head and slamming her on the headboard for that happiness, though. I'm sure he thought she was going to be able to talk to somebody, lay on the couch or something to find out what was going to make happen. I know he didn't think it was going to take. Well, because she said to him, I haven't been happy in a while. And and she got to put her hand like this on her head and say, woo, child, I was happy.
Listen. Will's, I remember him say, he said, I retire from trying to make you happy. He said that. Maybe he thought she was gonna go, make another movie and all this kind of stuff. And then she came up with their red table, and their red table has been the devil for the Smith home. So
but the crazy thing about it, and I think one of the people talked about this earlier. Man, dude, we are so lost when it comes to us thinking that money is going to make us happy. We are so it couldn't be so further from the truth, to be honest. Because money does not make you happy, man. It's not going to keep you happy.
Mm-mm. So, looking at the Smith Saga, and like you said, money is not going to make people happy and all this type of stuff, but she admittedly didn't want to marry Will. Justin says Will needs to give up the 60% of his money so he can be happy. Once away from her, you will see a better Will.
You know what?
At this point, people feel like they just need to part ways, and
you do, but which?
Okay.
But go ahead.
Carson said, but is it his job to make her happy? She has to find happiness within herself.
Well, you said within herself.
I knew you was going there.
That means you got to keep people out from within yourself. You can't stop it now. Stop it. You cannot be let. You know what? Somebody get behind you, be like, I think I'm happy now. What is that? No. Because this is the thing. Because he's not going to make her happy. She thinks that the boy will make her happy, but that's not actually what it is. That's not that's a feeling. He's giving her a great feeling in the moment, but that's not making you happy. It's the talking and the listening. I heard something this weekend that somebody said, if you just listen to a woman, they'll be so happy. I just got one question. How long do you have to listen before they get happy? I got stuff to do. I don't have all day to be sitting there talking about, you know what? I just don't. I need to do something with my life. You do need to do something like you need to get some more friends so you can talk to because I don't have all day. That's just that ain't me. That's my friend talking. We was talking the other day. He was telling me about that. Go ahead, D.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's coming from 30 years. That's coming from 30 years of marriage, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I better be careful. I won't make 31.
All right. Right. And it's what? Right around the corner, right?
It is. Actually, end of the month.
Grace say I'm sick of Jada. I think everybody at this point is sick of Jada. but okay. But all right, so let's get into it. Today we talking about if loving you is wrong. If loving you is wrong. Mika said this hat got John showing out within the first 10 minutes of the show.
Girl, I got her.
We're Rastafarian tonight. Brenda said entanglements can't make you happy. Right. Entanglements can't make you happy. They can't make you happy. Matter if you have to depend on people or anything to make you happy, then you are subject to stuff around you anyway. Because same way you waiting on somebody to make you happy, that's the same thing. The same person can make you sad.
They have that control. You give them that control. Because obviously she gave Will the control to make her happy. And he had to have been that. So she had to be happy at some point. Right?
Or did she assume, like everybody else did, he's successful, he on his way. I mean, because he had did Independence Day. I think this was around Men in Black time. Yeah. So Will's career was taking off. And do you think she maybe convinced herself, you know what? I'm going to chill. I'm going to make this work. He check all the boxes for what a good dude is. He check all the boxes. So let me just settle in, get into this, and just ride it.
He checks all the boxes for what a good dude is. Don't nobody want no good dude. They don't want a good dude. They want to listen. If he got a little job that can pay the rent and stop the people from calling the house, and he be a fool, I'm with that. Most women don't want a good dude, man. Every now and then they want to be snatched up. Every now and then. Listen to me. I bet you she wouldn't put him on the dude that snatch up. I bet he won't sit around table talk. She'd be on there with a black eye and tell me, oh, I can't believe he did it like that. That's what she want. She got that man on red table talk and had him crying. What kind of ish is that?
Yeah. She did put her foot in his tail in the red table.
And she twisted it slightly, so it wasn't a limp.
Yeah, they was in bad. He was in bad shape. But we talk about if loving you is wrong. If loving you is wrong, why do we have a tendency? Because you talked about the wrong person. What is it about the wrong person that's so desirable?
They won't do what we tell them to do. See, what people are missing in all of this, and this is something I want to make sure I cover today. This is not Jada's fault. I know we can talk about Jada for the next hour and a half. Child, she did that, and child, she taking pictures. She's with a video in the video. She can do all that. No, it's not Jada's fault. It's Will's fault. It's Will's fault because I believe that Will had a decision to make when he was dating Jada. I believe they sat down and had a conversation and thought, she says, because she didn't have to say it, she's showing you that she's not wifey material. And because she's not wifey, and this is not just Will, this is everybody. When you talk to your woman and she tell you whatever it is she needs to tell you, whether good, bad, ugly, you have a decision to make. Now, people say this. People say, well, I don't think that you can love somebody enough to where you can do this or look over another guy. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can look over that. You can love somebody too much to where you make them something that they're not supposed to be.
So you kind of make a God out of them, basically.
Absolutely. If they make you compromise your values and what you're thinking and what you believe, you have officially made a God out of them.
I think you just define what makes a person dangerous. If somebody makes you compromise your values, your everything, if they make you compromise that, they are dangerous for you.
You know that the Bible, and I know about 3 scriptures in the Bible, and this is one of them. Don't make nobody know God, because you'll be in trouble.
Wait, where can we find that?
That is in Zechariah 77 and 18. Dude, listen to me, because it's not supposed to work. It's not when you put somebody before everything. When you say I'm gonna be with you no matter what you do to me, no, that's not gonna work.
Cyril says snatched up, huh? I'll say, child. Anywho, I think she hid who she was until they said I do.
Oh. See, I don't believe that. Nope, I don't believe that.
You do all the time?
Dude, listen, Jada does not seem like the type that's gonna lie to you. She seems like she's gonna tell you what that is. She seems like and make you decide whether or not you want to be with me or not.
Okay.
I don't think she's gonna lie. I think she's gonna say, hey, listen, this thing down here is fire, but I ain't wifey type. And he had already been, and listen, and a lot of times, man, we don't want to fail. And we want to conquer, especially men. We want to conquer. We want what we want because we want it. And especially if we can't control you. If we can't make you sit down somewhere, you always into something, dude, that drives me crazy. I don't know why, but it drives me crazy. And I think he put her in a place that she was never meant to be, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I can kind of go with you. Rod said that's all I've been saying. Will is accountable for Will.
That's Will's fault. It's Will's fault.
But aren't most people guilty of the same thing Will did?
Absolutely. Because this the truth, ladies. Men don't want to be single. We want somebody. We want what we want if we feel like we can have them. And most of the time, D, we feel like that I'm willing to put up with this much stuff to get you. Now, what's in here? What's in here? It's gonna be a lot in there. Until we figure out, well, nah, that's too much. I don't want to do that.
Okay, Monique said exactly when is Will showing accountability? Everyone is targeting Jada. Why? Because she doing the most, man. She
doing
the most.
Not only that, D, but she's the one she the one we hear about all the time. Will in the cut. Will is in the cut. And because Will is in the cut, then now he's actually controlling the narrative because he in the cut. But Will ain't did nothing. Even when the Negro broke for the stage, it's Jada's fault. Will can't do no wrong with us because we want to believe that it's that woman that he got. When ultimately it's the man.
I get it. Will represents. Let me get Grace. Grace says the Bible says a wise woman builds her house. Got a point. That a wise woman builds her house. Wesley says he said he didn't want to be divorced again. So this is good. So maybe he putting up with it so his marriage doesn't fail twice. And I believe like what Wesley just said. Brenda said Jada is showing her true colors. What Wesley just said, I've heard Will Smith say one time, he said, I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. I was like, what? He said he will not give up. He said if it kills him, he won't give up. And thinking about that kind of mentality, I think that's what Wesley said, it plays into it. Rod says we're gonna find Will a good grambling along. Yeah, we're gonna get him up good right, Rod. Get him up right.
It won't come from.
Let me say this real quick. Hey man, don't come for GSU, baby. All right. Well, I think why people have so much sympathy for Will is because we've been him at some point.
But expound, please, sir. Expound on that. What do you mean?
We have had love kick us all in the behind because we got a hold to the wrong person and we didn't know how to let go. And it's people who got drugged through the mud, got drugged through some bad situations because I can't let this person go.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. I've been drugged through the mud and all this. Did they start dragging you through the mud before the relationship or after you was in it?
That's a good question. Probably before, but why couldn't you see it?
Okay, no, you saw it. You saw it. Oh no. Listen. I dated the girl one time when I was in high school, and she was bad. Now get this, she was bad, but she had a hickey on her neck when I met her. You know what I was thinking? Yeah, I see the hickey, but I see the rest of it.
Okay.
I see the rest of it. And all I'm saying is people don't have to hide their flaws in front of you because we'll accept them. If you just show me what your flaws are, now I have to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to put up with those. And from the wagon that you dragging, I think I'm going to put up with that.
Monique said most women having similar experience of mug too. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. You didn't see until after. It was right in front of you, but when I say you didn't see it, you ignored it. There was something else distracting you. You just admitted it. There was something else distracting you. You see it. No. Did your actions say or acknowledge that reality?
I made a conscious effort, D, to look away from that. I decided that that's not important to me. I want to be with you anyway. And then when I decide I want to be with you, and you drive a tractor over me back and forth, and people run out and see it and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's doing him that way." And then you pull out the paper and say, "Yeah, this is what I signed up for." Most of the time, people get what they signed up for. It ain't the person that's doing it. You knew what you signed up for, and now you getting it. Dude, you have put her on the pedestal. You have made a god out of that woman. Now she has the authority and the right to back over you and run over you one more time.
So why do most people have stories like this of getting a hold to the wrong person? Why do most people have something in their past, or they might still be dealing with them now? He called every time, or she called every time, say they want something. But why do we all have this thing?
Because when it comes to love or thinking that we in love, we stupid. We stupid when it comes to picking. We stupid when it comes to picking the right person for us because they don't look the way we want them to look. We want them to be a little taller. We want them to want to be a little thicker. We want to have a little switch when they walk. We have lists and things that what we want from people. And when we don't get them, we compromise. And now, because remember, once you start compromising, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah, you giving away all of your power to somebody who is not even interested. And I remember Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard said he had an uncle that was a pimp, and his uncle told him the person who cares the least in the relationship always controls the relationship. Grace says she agreed with you, John. But I'll never forget Terrence Howard. And when he said that, it hit me. It's like it makes sense because the person that was hard to hold on to always set the terms.
Listen, when Jada told him, or when anybody tells you, "Hey, listen, I'm just not that kind of girl. I know how you feeling. I'm just not that kind of girl," and it makes you say, I can get her where I want her to be. I can get her where I want her to be. And what you do is you sign a piece of paper that says, "I'm going to make sure you love me as much as I love you." And she say, "We'll see. We will see." And he or she takes you through the ringer. And as you go on, your friends like, "Girl, I don't know how You put up with all that. Girl, you don't understand. I love him. Oh, boy. Again with y'all, man, I love her, dude. Bro, tell me I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying.
No, you're right. Now, Monique said something. She said at times you become impatient. You want what you want. So I'm gonna ask this. What's the difference in relaxing your standards and compromising them? What's the difference between the two?
Well, relaxing is saying that he got to be 6'1", and then you say, well, okay, 5'9", 5'10" is that's good, but now compromising is I just want somebody to love me. He got to love Christ. Now you're saying I just want somebody to love me, and then you get to where a point you don't even mention Christ on the dates no more. He don't mention him. You don't mention him.
Right? Because ain't nowhere in the equation.
Because now you have compromised your relationship. Now, and he better not be tall, dark and handsome with the blah, 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 blah on the stomach and all that. Because you really, Christ who? Because we have officially made a God out of this man because you have openly compromised what you believe and what you wanted for this man. And now he has the power to do you the way he want to do you. And most of the time, we put up with a whole lot from those cats.
Yeah. I think it goes back to something Ryan said. He said, once you hit a certain, when you've been in a relationship a certain while, people become common. And this is why you don't want to compromise your values. Because at some point, that compromise that wasn't inconvenient at first now becomes inconvenient because that person is now just common and they're a problem now. They've always been a problem, but now that the fairy dust and wore off and everything, and you not in dreamland anymore, reality is hit. All right, Monique says compromise brings in change, changing you as the person. Okay.
And you know why most people have sex before they marry, D? Because they don't want to. Most people don't want to, but they feel like they have to, D. They feel like they have to. They feel like they have to. They feel like most of the time they feel like they're gonna lose them, that guy or woman, if they don't do that. They gotta compromise that. Most people don't want to. Most people, well, let me put it like this. Most people know what they should do. Hell, they drag us to church from the time we won the night to 6, 7, 18. Tell me we don't know what to do. And so you try to tell me that all these people compromise their belief about sex because they want to. I don't believe they want to. I believe some of y'all. I believe some of y'all. Okay, but most people know better. But they feel like that. Most people feel like they have to as well. Everybody else doing it.
Cheryl says compromising is changing your standards. When somebody, I don't know, I'm trying to see how to put it. When somebody makes you, they don't make you do it, but when you look up and you're not the person that you set out to be, because fear has backed you into a corner, like you said, you're so afraid of losing this person that you start doing anything to hold on to them, and you still not gonna hold on to them.
And not only that, you start doing some of anything to hold on to them, and you start allowing more stuff than you ever would. Oh, it's okay that you on drugs. As long as you do them at the house with me, where I can see you. Oh, it's okay. I know you done start another relationship with this woman, but just can you just do it to where you don't disrespect the house, dude? Because once you open up that vault of what you're willing to put up with to keep somebody, it don't stop. It don't stop at normal stuff. It go way beyond. People say all the time, "Girl, I couldn't be with nobody that did this and that." Oh, yes, you could. Yes, you could. The right person that came across you yet.
Is it more about the other person being wrong, or is it really a personal issue because your self-esteem is not where it needs to be to even deal with somebody else, period?
You know the fun thing about self-esteem, D? Self-esteem is funny because you can think, at one day you'll think, oh, I'm on top of the world. But dude, if you telling yourself that, but the minute you allow somebody else to tell you about yourself, you doomed. You're doomed.
Ebony says, I feel compromising is accepting or allowing what things that you really are not comfortable with. And you going along in this discomfort this whole time. What is worth that much? Kenny said self-esteem. You hit it. Because I've seen women, and I say women because I got a lot of women in my life. Just point blank, period. I grew up, I'm the only boy, none but sisters, and I get into a family, ain't none but girls. So, but I've seen the fear of being alone, or the fear of, I've seen it make people accept things that they never shouldn't have accepted. So that's why I say, is it really the person, or it's the person reflection of the issue that's going on inside the person themselves?
Well, the key word, I think it's great that we put this up. The key word in self-esteem is self. What will you allow? Because relationships are packed with what you will allow and what you won't allow. And most of the times listen, because if you tell me that Will thought that he was going to be here, as much as Jada say she had to drag him and all this, I get it. But even in that, he thought that he could get her to love him the way he wanted her to. He thought that I could be so successful that she'll want to be with me because of who I am. And that'll be enough for her. That ain't enough, people. That ain't enough.
Was fear driving him? Ebony says, I think women compromise more than men.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. I don't believe that that's true. I'll just say this. You hear about women, more women compromise than men because men won't say nothing.
Men ain't gonna, exactly.
Perfect example is Will saying anything. He ain't got on now red table talk. He said, girl, if y'all would just get me from her, she drives me crazy. He ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. He's not on any talk shows. He's not on he's not doing interviews. I ain't heard him on no podcast or nothing like that, because men do not talk about women who do them bad.
Because we're embarrassed. First of all, we're embarrassed that we've allowed ourselves to be in this position anyway. Because what happens is, normally when men compromise something on the front end, we look at the back and say, Lord, how in the world did I get here? When we come to ourselves, because most of the time, you know who tell us that we're doing too much, that we've gone too far? Another woman. Another woman normally will come and say, whoo, boy, I don't know what she got or what she doing, but you can have better, you can get better than that. You deserve better than that. It's normally another woman that'll come and tell you about yourself to make you say, you sure is right. I do. Because listen, you mean to tell me y'all don't think Will deserve better than the way he getting? But it don't really matter what you think if we're willing to compromise for that. If we're willing to keep that, then it don't really matter what you think.
So who out there is compromised and paid a hefty price for it?
You want to start with me, or you want to come back? You want to start with me, or you want to come back?
Ebony say, doesn't that mean men doesn't realize they are compromising? For women, it's a conscious decision. Oh, we know.
Yeah.
Know.
There you go.
Kenny says, I went out with someone who was the finest woman I've ever seen, but was broke. No goals, no ambition, wasn't even a Christian, but was happy because I never thought I would land someone so beautiful. That's a compromise, but I had to check myself as to why I felt so low on myself that I couldn't get someone better. Biggest mistake ever, he says. Listen, this is why people talk about confidence. People who have confidence, they get the relationships, they get the opportunities and all these things that other people wish they had. And it's all because this confidence is attractive.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It very much so.
I don't care if you got the most beautiful woman, if she doesn't, not overinflated, but if she has a low estimation of herself and you got to keep reassuring her, that's going to get old after some time. It's going to wear you out.
It gets real. It gets real old. But you'll be amazed at how many people enter relationships and they're not really ready for them. Because if you will allow everybody that you're trying to date to dictate things to you, you should go in knowing certain things. You know,
how long should you ride out the commitment? You stay in for the long haul?
Well, see,
how long? If you loving the wrong person, you identify that. How long do you stay?
Man, you ride that thing till it comes to the floor, brother. You ride that thing out. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, listen, it just depends on how long you've been in. It just depends on how, and you have to make another decision that I done came this far. I'm gonna ride this thing on out. And so hell or high water, and that's something else you have to prepare for, because it may not go like you think it's gonna go. And, dude, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you're trying to put up with.
Because here's my thing. Because this is what I see a lot of people do. You just go grab somebody based off what you want, but then get into the marriage and realize you don't have what you need. And now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. When you should have been assessing from the beginning based on what you knew you needed, instead of riding in fantasy land with all of your desires.
Well, you make a really good point, though. Because most of the time, we don't know what we need. Most of the time, relationship, we don't know what we need to make us. That's gonna help the relationship thrive. Because we don't know. We think we know. Oh, he's successful. He can provide for me. Because remember, people put a lot on a person being able to provide and make money. People put a lot on that. One of the things that Kenny said. He said, I had a chick. She was broke. Well, if she had ambition, that would be different. See, I remember I was in California one time. I met this jet black girl. She was black and mild looking. And she was the prettiest thing I had seen. And I said, so what do you do? She said, oh, I just sit at home with my kids and get my check. I was like, what? I just sit at home with my kids, get my check. I was so, because I just couldn't believe you could be. I thought she should have been modeling or something because she was gorgeous. And with me on her own, we was going straight to the top.
Ain't no stopping us now.
But it didn't work like that. It didn't work because real talk, once she said that, like, I was good.
Okay. So Brenda say, for better or for worse, that's what's vowed. Exactly. And I will say this. Most people don't really understand who they are, and this is why you need commitment. Commitment will help you see exactly who you are and what you're made of.
True. But if you knew and if you thought that I'm going to get in this relationship and I can't get out of it at the beginning, a lot of people wouldn't marry. People wouldn't marry. No. So you said that I can't never leave? And the reason why that's so telling, D, is because you already, in your mind, you already know you're going to have issues. You already know you're going to have, oh yeah, she like guys. She like attention from guys. Dude. And it gets worse. So if you thinking about that at the beginning, say, no matter what, you can't leave. And then you come back and she'll sleep with all your homeboys. But and I can't leave, but can I shoot everybody? No, you can't shoot everybody. You gotta stay right there. It'll make you think if you can't. It'll make you think about it. Absolutely. I don't think it'd be as many people rushing to get married.
People talk about casual sex, casual dating. There is nothing casual about commitment. There is nothing casual about relationships. There is nothing casual about it. But we treat it like it's some lighthearted thing until it gets real. If you treat it like it's real from the beginning, you'll save yourself a lot of headache and heartache. But we won't do that.
You know the most telling thing about what's going on with Will and Jada is nobody says, "Ooh, they are a great example of what to do and what not to do." They're a great example of how conversations need to be had before we get married. They're a great example of if you don't really want that, don't get in that. But we don't. But that's not how we look at it. Oh my gosh, she's doing so bad. No, no, no. This is where she's. This is where she's living. This is where she's been. This is on him. Put that blame where it go on Will, Josiah, Smith.
But then too, who can make you get married? How that work?
Nobody.
I want to. Who? How can somebody make you get married? This ain't 1950. This ain't 1850s. Where daddy got a shotgun, you done knocked up his little girl, and no. We talk. Who can make you get married?
Well, and to your point, which is a really good question, nobody can make you get married, but by just you can let that person know that we're gonna have a time in the marriage. If I gotta be convinced again to marry you.
Okay.
You ain't buying that. You ain't buying that.
No, man. No.
Okay, so if you're trying to marry somebody and you got first of all, me dating you and showing you who I am is not enough for you to want to be my wife. Me dating you as a woman, not showing you the woman that I could be and how I'm gonna be, is not enough to make you want to be my husband. Because if it's not, some more conversation need to be had about what's real and what do you really want in relationships. Because listen, contrary to what think, everybody don't want to be married. No. Everybody don't want to be married.
Nor do they need to be. Listen, marriage is not for immature people.
Marriage ain't for punks.
Which is Pastor Cal from Married at First Sight. He has a book, and that's the title of his book, Marriage Ain't for Punks. Monique says, no one makes you marry. When it comes to the Smiths, we can only speculate. They both play vital parts in what is transpired. I'm being honest, I'm talking about just people, period. I'm just talking about people, period. Because you got a lot of people who seem like somebody forced them into this thing.
Well, I don't know if forced, but they do kind of. You would think I was forced because you get married, but I think people just want the act of marriage. I don't think people really want to be married. You know, how would a woman be frowned upon if she didn't want to be married? Because society says every woman should want to be married. She want to be a wife. She want to be a mother. Society gonna frown upon you and say you don't want no kids. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm just out here doing my life.
And see, my thing is, if women outnumber men so strong, that means there's only really a small set of those women who would really be wives. I think most people are just giving in to social pressure. And like you said, there's this whole thing of, oh, you're a woman, you should desire marriage and stuff. So if you don't want to seem like the eyeball out. So you go along with it. And I think a lot of people compromise themselves that way and go along with stuff. And that's not even who they are. That's not even where they are.
But what's the alternative, D? If you don't be married, you're just out here giving that booty up. Man or woman. You're just out here giving that booty. What's the alternative, though?
Now, I'm going to say you can't do this now. You can't go and sleep with somebody and y'all end up pregnant, and then you fall back on your standard of, I don't want to be a single parent.
Yeah, well, you got a point. You got a point.
You can't put the cart before the horse. You can't sit up there and do what brings babies, and then once a baby pops up, now you want to, I don't want to be a single parent. You should have thought about that before. See, now you get pushed into a commitment because your standard has told you that you That's not what I want. But you didn't use wisdom in the beginning.
Well, what if I get you pregnant and I believe that I want my kid, I want to be a part of my kid's life? What if I want to be a part of my kid's life and you like, well, I don't really know if I want to marry, but we pregnant, and I want my son to have a dad and a mom now, and so somebody has to compromise, correct? Or do I just, or what do you do?
I think we forced them to compromise because we don't take the necessary measures up front.
At the beginning, yeah.
At the beginning. Kenny says, I think some people feel forced because they don't want to lose that person. So they take the plunge in hope that it will work out okay. Listen, let me tell you, I had a partner in college. We went to the club one weekend and he came across this girl. And I don't know what she put on him, but
it was water.
He went and married this girl.
Oh boy.
And we was like, you married? He was like, yeah, man, I married. It was like, dude, why you gonna marry this girl? He said, man, he said, I didn't want nobody else to have her.
That thing must have firecrackers coming from.
Literally, that's what he said. Ebony says, I think people marry also from family pressure. Both my aunts married because my grandmother put pressure on them for living in sin, shacking up. All right. So why were you doing it to begin with? Listen, one thing, the older you get, you realize older people are not as stupid as we thought when we were younger. There were things they knew because a lot of them had made the mistakes and they was trying to save us from it. But we are the type of people could warn us, but we still got to find out for ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we start singing the same old song they were singing. It's like, that's foolish.
Yeah, but everybody thinks that it's gonna be different for them. Most people think, I know if I do this and I do that, and it normally it'll make me sick, but now maybe this time it's going to be different. And most people are, I said earlier, stupid for love. Most people are suckers for love. We willing to make a bet that it'll work out on my behalf if I do this. Oh, it can't be that bad. She just needs some. She ain't never been loved like I can love her. She ain't never been around nobody that had it like this or like that. When ultimately, man, you can't. You know, that's why it's so important, man, that people know who they are. You really have to know who you are. You really have to be firm in who you are, because if I always heard, if you don't know who you are, somebody else will tell you.
And you know what that's like? That's like me and a 350-pound dude, both of us standing on top of a 10-story building, and he jump off and fall to the ground, and me thinking, oh, well, I'm lighter than him, and I step off the building. The only difference is the size of the stain on the sidewalk, bro. This is what we have to understand.
Oh, that's good.
You are not exempt from consequences just because of who you are. If you participate in the foolishness, you're going to win foolish prizes, just like everybody else. Stop thinking that because it's something different about you, that the outcome going to be different. If you do the same thing everybody else, you're going to get the same results.
Man.
And people keep getting the same results. And steadily, nobody is learning from what they saw happen to everybody else. Everybody's still saying, well, but that ain't going to be me.
See, the crazy thing about life is full of examples of what to do and what not to do. One of the things about people that have been fools in relationship, they're always willing to tell somebody. Girl, don't do that.
Yeah.
Girl, don't you do that. Girl, boy, hey man, let me tell you, come on, youngster, let me tell you something. They quick to tell that because nobody wants to see you go make the mistake that they made.
Dude, it's sad because you want people to do better, you want people to be better, think better. But dude, they don't. Monique says, yes, many marry for partnership, love, etc. But unfortunately, many are immature and do not have the tools to make it work. Marriage is not an immature reality. You got to be mature to deal with marriage. You got to be mature. Rod said, nah, D. Oh, I said, nah, D. We both be stains on the sidewalk. Exactly. Yeah. We both be stains on the sidewalk. You can't think just because of who you are, like it's something special about you, that you're not going to fall victim to the same thing if you play the same game. Everybody talk about experience is the best teacher. But listen, people say, but you ain't got to take every class.
No, ma'am.
Learn from somebody else did, mistake somebody else made. Learn from that. Wise up.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because boy, again, we see examples of people that are making it, just like we see examples of people that aren't. We most of the time, because most time when couples are in ruin, oh my God, when you get to the house, now be careful, because they're gonna be arguing about this, they're gonna be arguing about that. They're miserable, and nobody wants to be the couple that's miserable. That everybody else can say, Lord, I don't know what they was thinking. They should have never got married. They should never got married. Nobody wants to be that couple. Nobody wants to be that couple. But more times than not, most of us end up that way.
Now, I'll say this. The marriages that I've seen that didn't work, it was because somebody dug their heels in the ground and wouldn't make the necessary changes.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage can work. Marriage can work if you're willing to make the necessary changes, but everybody's not willing to make the changes because they so scared that they're gonna give up too much power to the other person. If both of us are looking out for each other, you ain't got to worry about that. Well, that's the hard thing to tell.
Yes.
Somebody looking out for themselves, or if they really looking out for you.
That's true. You're right, man. All right, final thoughts. My final thought for this evening is this. Know who you are. Sometimes people think it's really bad to be single, but being single actually gives you an opportunity to figure out who you are and what you actually bring to a relationship, man. And once you get in a relationship, have married people around you, have wise counsel, have people you can call and talk to so they can tell you, girl, you acting the fool, or boy, if you don't sit your blank down somewhere and do this, do that. I think that's the problem with most relationships. Everybody relies on their own mindset. No, you got to get around people that know better, because if you know better, you'll do better. That's my final thought.
Oftentimes, people underestimate themselves for reasons that John just mentioned. They don't know who they are. There is value in being single. There is value in learning who you are, knowing what it is that you like and don't like, and overall just appreciating yourself. Because whenever you take on somebody else and there's a deficit in who you feel like you are, you feel like that person completes you. Nobody should complete you. Somebody can compliment you, but they should never complete you. If you are in a place to where you need somebody to complete you, do not take on a relationship with somebody else. Because the theory is, if that person who completes you leaves, you're going to be incomplete. And when you feel like you're going to be incomplete, you get desperate. And desperate people are dangerous people to other people and to themselves. There are people who've lost their lives. There are people who've taken their lives because they were desperate, because they felt like that person made them in some shape, form, or fashion. Don't ever be that desperate for love and attention. Love yourself. Give yourself attention. And believe what God says about you. If he says you fearfully and wonderfully made, find out why he said that about you. So that when that person comes along, they're not giving you value, but they're rather recognizing the value that you already possess. And that's our King Speak for this week.
Hey man, dude, can't be scared to love yourself either, man. Right. Sometimes you got to go get in that shower and love on yourself.
And to say, man, I'd have missed the whole show and pop up and see John with dreads.
Done grew, bro. Done grew.
Mika said, desperate people are dangerous. That will preach. Another great show. Listen, we can't do this without y'all good people. Monique says, great final thoughts, gentlemen. Great show. We always appreciate y'all week after week for being here, joining in with us. And we hope we're doing some good. That's all. We're going to do some good. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Check out our podcast. You can find it on all the podcast platforms. Also, check us out on the BS3 TV channel on Roku. Go to the BS3 TV channel. Just dig around in there and see what's there. I think you can find some stuff that you'll like.
There are a lot of great shows on there, man, that you guys need to go back and take a listen to. There's some really good ones. And there's some really good ones. And you know what? I'm going to say this. You go back and look at it, you don't like it, I'm going to give you money back. Your money coming back.
Money back guarantee. There you go, right there. Let them know where you can find you, man, real quick.
All right, man. I'm on Facebook at Comedian John Yogi. I'm on YouTube at John Yogi. You can catch me here every Monday night on the BS3. I'm on TV, Mom. I told you I was going to make it. You said I wasn't going to never mean nothing, and I had made it when I'm on TV. And we here on Monday night with my man D, and that's where you can find me.
All right. As far as myself, Overcomers Empowerment Ministries, that's our ministry. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and also you can check us out on BS3 TV. We got past messages that you can go and check out anytime you want. If you need a word, anytime during the week, go to Roku, look at BS3 TV, and find Overcomers Empowerment Ministries, and guarantee it'll bless you. Just go check us out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for tonight. We appreciate you. Come back next week. We got more for you.
Y'all be